First of all, let me start out by saying this. Since I started this channel, which by the way, when I started this channel, I never thought that it was going to grow to the point that it's grown to. So for that, I am super thankful. But during the growth of this channel, I've met some incredible people. I've met server owners, I've met plugin developers, I've met people that run hosting services. I've met an incredible group of people. And for that reason, I'm actually more appreciative of that than I am of the actual growth of my channel. I have met so many people, I don't even know what to do with. My Discord is lit up on a daily basis, full of private messages and tags and all this other stuff. People trying to talk to me about various different things, which is great. If you're out there and you're thinking about reaching out to me, please feel free to do so. All my Discord information is always linked in the video description of every single one of my videos. Feel free to join that Discord and you can make direct contact with me there. Yes, my DMs are open, and yes, I do my very best to answer every single one of those messages. Another thing I'd like to touch on is as a plugin starts to age, or maybe the developer moves on to other things, for whatever reason just loses interest in the project, sometimes they can become available so that somebody else can take it over. And I'm sure that actually happens to a lot of different plugins over a period of time, but one was recently brought to my attention where the developer of the plugin basically said, you know what, I'm done with this plugin, I'm not going to develop it any further. And they left it up for grabs, and somebody else grabbed onto this plugin and took it to an amazing level, and I can't wait to show you guys this. So the plugin that I'm talking about, which to be clear is not today's video, is the GUI Shop plugin. So if you've ever used the old version of GUI Shop, you know that it was functional, it did its job, but it was very limited and it was very complicated to set up. So the developer that adopted the plugin GUI Shop, his name is Con, we'll meet him soon, has taken everything about GUI Shop and basically fixed it, changed it, made things work better. I know that once you guys see this hit the Umod site, you're gonna like it. If you were afraid of using GUI Shop before, you're gonna love it now. So stay tuned for that video because that video is coming very, very soon. He's just working out some details right now. You can get a version of it on the Umod site right now, but it's not the finished product. I currently have a version of it that is closer to a finished product, but it's not quite there yet. Con isn't 100% satisfied with the work that he's done with it so far, so he's still got some fine tuning to do on it. So once he's satisfied with it, he's going to release it to the public. It'll be available on the Umod site, and at that time, I will probably push out the video that I'm working on right now. The reason I can't push that video out right now is because things are changing kind of on a daily basis. These guys stay up like 19, 24 hours a day working on this plugin. So things change at a very rapid pace. I might put a video out one day and things are completely different the next day. So we'll just wait. The video is coming. Make sure you watch for it. It's called GUI Shop. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on so that you get notified as soon as I do actually push out this video. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about today's video. So today's video is going to be a quick and short one, but it is something that people have been requesting. People have been asking if there's a way that you can make it so that only a select group of people can actually get into your server. So you only want your friends, your coworkers, your schoolmates, whatever. You get to decide who has access to your server. That plugin is called WhiteList, and that's what we're talking about today. So stay tuned, check it out. Holy, was that the longest video intro ever? I think it might be. Anyways, welcome back to Rust Admin Academy, where I teach you guys the very best tips and tricks to owning and operating a successful Rust server. On this channel, I do a lot of plugin reviews and tutorials. Today's video is a bit of both, tutorial and review, to hopefully show you guys some of the cool different things that you guys can do with your servers. If you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing so that you stay up to date on everything that we're working on. And also make sure you turn on that notification bell because the subscription itself doesn't actually mean very much. I need you to get notified as soon as I push out a new video. So of course, the plugin that we're talking about today is called WhiteList. It's available from the Umod website. I'll put a link to it in the video description down below, like I always do. So basically what WhiteList does is it makes it so that anybody that doesn't have the permission to join your server can't actually get into your server. Seems pretty self-explanatory, right? Well, how do we make this actually work? If you're only going to be allowing access to your server to maybe like 5 or maybe 10 of your friends, what I would suggest that you do is set up a group inside your server using the Better Chat plugin, of course, and you can call that group whatever you want. Just for example purposes, I'm going to create a group called Friends. Chat group add friends. If you're familiar with Better Chat, that's what that command would look like so that you can create a group called Friends. And of course, we get a response back from the console saying successfully added the group called Friends. And then we can go in game and we can use whatever permissions manager we're using. In this case, I'm using admin menu. If you'd like a free version, you can also check out permissions manager. I've done a video on both of these. Make sure you check that video out. I'll put a link to it in the top right-hand corner right now. But for right now, what we want to do is we want to grant the permission to that group that we've just created called Friends. We want to grant the permission called WhiteList. So let's go into permissions. Let's go into group permissions. Let's go into Friends and let's scroll over until we find WhiteList. whitelist. So once we grant this permission called whitelist.allow, that basically makes it so that whoever is in this group called friends is now granted access to the server. Anybody else that tries to join the server that doesn't have this permission or isn't a part of this group, they're going to get a message saying you're not whitelisted. Basically, you're not allowed in this server. So going forward, anybody that's in this group called friends is now going to have access to the server. Nobody else will be allowed into this server. So how do we add our friends to this group that we've now created called friends? Well, this command that you see in my console here right now, chat user add, and then we'll put your friend's name in there, not inside of quotations. I'm just using that as a placeholder to show you what I'm talking about. And then at the end of that, we want to say what group we want to actually add them to. In this case, it's friends. So chat user add your friend's name and then friends. You can also use their Steam 64 ID here in place of their name in case that happens to be easier for some people, which I'm sure it will be. What's going to happen is your friend is going to call you up on Discord or whatever, and they're going to say, hey, I want access to your server. You're going to say, okay, cool. Give me your Steam 64 ID. I'll put you on the whitelist. You'll be good to go. That's essentially how that conversation is going to look. Another way that we could do this is to manually grant the permission to each individual player that we want to be on the whitelist. So the command line that you see on the screen right now will do the exact same function. So we're going to o.grant user, and then we're going to put the player's Steam 64 ID or their in-game name, and then what permission we want to grant them. In this case, it's whitelist.allow. Obviously, it's the same permission that we were using earlier, but instead we're just going to grant it to each individual player that we want to have access to the server. Obviously, this method is a little bit more cumbersome, but if you only have 2 or 3 people that are going to be joining this server, it might be easier to go this route as opposed to setting up a better chat group and granting that permission to that group. So this is all well and good if we want to do everything manually, but I'm sure you guys know me by now. I don't like to do anything manually. I like to automate any process that I possibly can. In a real world application, the only reason why you would want to have something like this set up in your server is if you wanted your players to be a part of your Discord before they had access to your server. Well, that's actually probably one of the most important reasons why you would use this plugin. So in order for a player to have access to your server, they have to be a member of your Discord, which is a really great way to drive engagement on your Discord because people won't have access to your server unless they join it. I'm going to insert a little bit of a caution here right now. This kind of a setup that I'm talking about right now is really only for populated servers. I don't think you'd want to put this type of a limitation on a server that's just starting out, unless your end goal is to actually make it so that none of the public actually can have access to your server ever, and you only want to have this set up as a private server forever. The reason I say that is because some players are going to come to your server just randomly. They're just going to see your server pop up on the directory list, and they're going to jump into your server. If the first thing they see is that they get kicked out because they're not on the whitelist, guess what? They're never going to come back unless they're actually interested in your server, in which case they'll follow a link or whatever describer that you use to get to your Discord, which will then grant them access into your server. So be careful there. So that's the basics of whitelist, and that's really all this plugin is designed to do, is to prevent people that don't have that permission from ever accessing your server. So now if you're interested in looking at the Discord option, so if you want your players to be a member of your Discord before they have access to your server, this plugin that I'm showing on the screen right now is the plugin that you're going to need to familiarize yourself with before you can make that happen. Basically what this plugin does is it checks to make sure that your player is a member on your Discord, and then it will automatically put that Steam 64 ID into a group. In this example case that I've created, that group is called friends, but you can make it whatever you want. Once that's done, then that player then has access to your server. I don't think I've actually done a video on Discord core roles yet. I think I intended to, and then for some reason I never did it. I'm not sure. If you guys are interested in learning about Discord core roles though, make sure you guys leave a comment down below so that I know you guys are actually interested in learning about Discord core roles. All right, so that basically sums up whitelist. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Make sure you leave me a big fat juicy thumbs up. Yes, this is what my face looks like without my big hairy beard coming off of it. Go easy on me in the comment section. I do feel a little bit exposed. I feel a little bit exposed. When I shaved my beard off, my face, I could actually feel the cold on my face. My face got cold. It was crazy. Anyways, if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notification bells so that you get notified as soon as I upload a new video. I put out a new video every Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And just for the record, I have gone 18 months straight. I've never missed a video. I've been late a little bit a couple of times, but I haven't missed a video. I've done a video at least once a week for the last 18 months. So that's pretty cool. So until next Friday, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and taking care of each other. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Friday.